Hello and welcome to our classroom. Cognitively, the students perform to the intellectual equivalent of a 3-month-old to an 11th-month-old. Three of the students need support to complete adaptive tasks. Students can complete adaptive work tasks with moderate physical prompts. The other three students who are engaged in a participatory level that is adapted to work tasks with maximum physical prompts. The learners in this class require frequent breaks and extended time to complete instructional tasks.
In order to differentiate instruction, it's important that small group instruction immediately follows whole group instruction. This ensures that all the learning objectives have been met. Due to the students' exceptionalities, it's important to note that this classroom requires a low teacher to student ratio. It is one teacher to 3 students, so this classroom has 2 teacher assistants. So this lesson is tied into current events and a life-centered education program.
Today we're going to be learning all about opposites. And before we get started, let's learn about vocabulary that deals with opposites. Opposites mean that they're not the same, they're different. Some examples of opposites would be big and small, short and tall, yes and no. So we're going to watch a cool video that starts to show us what opposites would look like. And remember, opposites are not the same, they're different.
Big and small, short and tall, narrow and wide, heavy and light, good and bad, happy and sad, open and closed, yes and no, fast and slow, young and old, empty and full, push and pull, hard and soft, on and off, short and long, weak and strong, opposites, they're not the same, they are different, they are opposites.
What a fun song about opposites. Now that we learned all about opposites, we're going to read a book called No, David. This book is going to be what we call a fictional book in children's literature. Let's get started.
No, David, by David Shedd.
David's mom always said, "No, David. No, David. No, David, no. No, no, no. Come back here, David. David, be quiet. Don't play with your food. That's enough, David. Go to your room. Settle down. Stop that this instant. Put your toys away. Not in the house, David. Oops. I said, no, David. Davy, come here. Yes, David, I love you. The end.
All right, guys, we just read our book, No, David. You guys did such a good job listening to this book. So we learned that David made not really good choices. So we are going to read a new book that is all about making those good choices. So we remember opposites are different. They are not the same. So the opposite of no is yes. So we are going to read a book called Yes, David. So we have some friends that are going to help us give David some really good advice so that he can make good choices when he's in school. So go ahead and have your listening ears ready, your eyes ready, and watching the screen to pay attention, and your thinking brain on, because when we're done, we're going to talk about and do some activities about our two books. Hi everyone, so we just got done reading No, David. I love that book. David definitely has made some choices that maybe were not the best choices. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read another book where we're going to learn what his friends are telling him that he can do. So they are being such good friends because they are going to help David follow the rules. So when he comes back to school, he's ready to know what he can do and not just what he can't do. So our book was called No, David. So now the opposite of no is yes. So we're going to learn about all the things that David can do so we can say, yes, David, yes, you can do that. So the first one, we have friends that are teaching David to sit in their seat nicely, stay on task, and when you're in school, raise your hand. Yes, David, you can do that in school. And we have another friend, and she is making such a good choice. When she wants some help, she is raising her hand so that the teacher can help her with her reading. So yes, David, that is a very good choice to do in school, to ask for help if you need it. And next, we have some friends that are saying, yes, David, here are some things we can do in our classroom. And you can do this at home too. You can put away your things when you are all done. So our friend over here, she has her glue, her pencils, her crayons, and she is putting them away when she is all done. Next, we have a friend who is sweeping up the floor. That is so nice. She is doing her classroom job where she is cleaning up the floor, and she's doing a great job. Next, we have a friend who is sharpening one pencil at a time. She's doing awesome, doing one pencil at a time. And when she's all done, she's going to put them back in the bin. Yes, David, that is a very good job cleaning up, and this is what we do in the classroom. And lastly, we have our friend who is picking up the trash. He is taking all the trash that is around him and putting it inside the trash can. Yes, David, this is a very good thing to do at home and in the classroom. If you remember, David had trash and toys all over his room. So the opposite of messy is clean. So we are going to learn that David can do the opposite and clean up his space. Wow, yes, David. When you're in the lunchroom, this is a good choice to make. We are sitting nicely with our feet on the floor. We are not rolling or moving. We are sitting and eating with our mouth closed. This is a good choice to do when you're in the lunchroom. Very nice sitting with their milk in front of them, and they have personal space. Nicely sitting, and they are making sure they're staying in their own space. Yes, David, this is a very good choice. Oh, and this one is my favorite. Yes, David, this is a good choice to share with our friends. Sometimes we want so many things to ourselves. And when we have a friend who wants something too, it is such a good choice to share with them. When we share with the friend, we can turn our body towards them, we can look them in the eye, and we can give them a toy if they want it. And we can also nicely ask for a toy back if we want a toy too. This is good sharing. This is good interacting with our peers. Yes, David, this is a good choice. And good job, everybody. I love the way everyone was having listening ears and looking with their eyes. Thank you so much. And I hope you were listening so nicely, because now we are going to do No, David and Yes, David activities.
All right, guys, so we just talked about our two bugs, No, David, and Yes, David. So we learned that yes and no, they are opposites. And we also learned about some things we can help David do in school and say, yes, David, we can do those things in school. And we're going to help him follow the rules. So we are going to do our activity, and we're going to help him again decide if this is something that David should do in school or not do in school. Okay, so the first one says, kick a friend. There's a girl kicking her friend. Is that something David should do? No, David? Or yes, David? That's right. No, David. We don't kick our friends in school. We keep our hands and feet to ourselves on our own body. The next one says, raise your hand when you need something. No, David? Or yes, David? That's right. You got it. Yes, David. When you need help in school, we can raise our hands. Go up the slide. Should David go up the slide? No, David? Or yes, David? Good work choosing your answer. No, David. We go up the stairs and down the slide. Those are the rules. So good job helping David follow the rules. The next card says, push a classmate. No, David, or yes, David? Nice work. No, David. Good job, everybody, helping David follow the rules.
Thank you, Ms. Bradley, for a fantastic activity about all the things that David should do. Today we learned about opposites, and opposites also come with synonyms and antonyms. A synonym is a word that has the same meaning as another word. So if I say mad, that means I can also say angry. If I say glad, then I can also say happy. If I say sad, I can also say gloomy. But today we really focus on antonyms, and the antonym we really focused on today was yes and no. We read the story, No, David, about things that David shouldn't do. Then we also read the other story about Yes, David, things that David should do. Like I said before, antonyms are a word that has the opposite meaning of another word. So today's lesson was all about opposites. Not the same, but different. Remember, happy, sad, dirty, clean, and yes and no.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Yes, guys. So what we're going to do next is you are going to help us write rules for our classroom. So if David were to come into our classroom, he would know what are the best choices to make to be a good peer, a good friend, a good student, and a good citizen. So I want you to use your creativity. You can write them in a sentence. You can draw them in a picture. So we are going to help students, just like David, make good choices in the classroom. And when we're done, we'll put them all over the wall so that we can remember what the rules are so that we can say, yes, you are doing a good job. So I love how everybody was listening so nicely and listening to our 2 books and learning all about opposites today. So thank you guys so much and have a good rest of the day. Thank you, Miss Phillips.